Every video about becoming a graphic designer says the same three things. Learn Photoshop, build a portfolio, apply for jobs. And then you do all that and you're still getting rejected for a 12,000 a month role that requires 2 years of experience and degree in visual communication. So let me tell you what those videos don't tell you. The graphic design job market in India is broken, and pretending otherwise doesn't help you. Here's what's actually happening. Companies want experienced designers, agencies want cheap designers, and clients want free designers. And everyone is looking for someone who gets it without being willing to pay for someone who does. You see job listing asking for Photoshop, Illustrator, After Effects, Figma, Canva, social media strategy, video editing, and basic coding knowledge for 15,000 a month. That's not a design job, that's 5 jobs wrapped in one bad salary. So the question isn't just how to become a designer, it's how to become one without getting trapped in the cycle. And those are two completely different answers. Okay, here's what I'd actually tell someone starting from zero. 1. Stop learning tools and start learning to see. Photoshop is a tool, Figma is a tool, Canva is a tool. None of them makes you a designer. What makes you a designer is understanding why something looks the way it does. Why does this font feel trustworthy? Why does this layout feel chaotic? Why does this color make you hungry? That's design thinking, and you don't learn it from tutorials. You learn it by looking at the world like it's a one giant design problem, which it is. 2. Your portfolio is not your resume. It's your argument. Most portfolios I see are just collection of things. Here's a logo I made, here's a poster, here's a social media kit. That's not a portfolio, that's a folder. A portfolio says, here's a problem, here's how I thought about it, here's what I made and why. It shows your process, not just your output. The designer who explains their thinking always beats the designer who just shows pretty pictures. 3. Specialize early, generalize later. I know everyone says keep your options open, but that's a bad advice for someone who just starting out. If you're good at everything, you are hireable for nothing. Pick just one area. Brand identity, UI UX, motion, illustration, and go deep. You can always expand, but you cannot build a reputation by being slightly okay at 12 different things. Now the India specific stuffs, because context matters. Most design education in India is still teaching softwares, not thinking. If you graduate from a course that taught you Photoshop workflows but never made you critique a single real-world design decisions, you got half an education. The freelance platforms will commoditize you if you let them. Fiverr, Upwork, and the Facebook groups where people post 500 for a logo, those exist. And those will absolutely use you if you don't know what your work is worth. And here's the part nobody says out loud. The Indian design industry rewards communication almost as much as craft. Designers who can explain their decisions to a non-designer client in clear, confident language get hired, get retained, and get referred. The ones who cannot get ghosted after the first revision round. So if you're building your skills, add this one. Practice explaining your design choices out loud to your friends, to your parents, to anyone who listens. Because in client meeting, your mouth is half your portfolio. So here's the condensed version. Start with fundamentals, typography, color, composition. Not software, fundamentals. Read books, study logos, deconstruct posters. Pick just one tool and get deeply comfortable with it. Figma if you're learning UI, Illustrator if you're learning brand, both if you have the time. Build 3 projects and show thinking, not just test. Get some real briefs if you can get them. Self-initiate the briefs if you cannot. Put yourself online, not to go viral, to be findable. LinkedIn, Behance, Instagram, pick 2 and be consistent on it. And charge for your work, even early. Doing free work for exposure teaches clients your rate is 0. Start low if you have to, but start charging. The designers who make it in India aren't always the most talented. They are the ones who understood the game they were playing and played it on their own terms. If this was the conversation you need to hear, here's a lot more where that came from. Subscribe and I will make sure the next video finds you. And drop a comment what's the one thing nobody told you about getting into design. I read every single one.